Preneurs, there are 6 problems that we're literally going through in modern day. These are the 6 classes I think should have been mandatory in high school. Let's get right into it. Welcome back, Preneurs. We're going to be talking about the 6 problems that, I specifically have gone through. And I wish after exiting high school that I would have already known this information, okay? And I believe these 6 classes I'm about to talk about should be mandatory. Hopefully that we can start adding in our curriculums. And if you already went through these, I would love to hear your comments. And if you think any other classes should be added, let's dive right into it. Number 1 is money management. Maybe you're someone that learned a lot about money. Me, in school, I didn't learn too much about money. I learned about money after exiting high school, after exiting college, after really reaching a real life and saying, man, this is how I actually make income after working for someone. I have $1 in my hand, but I didn't understand what gross income really meant. I didn't understand what net income really meant. I didn't understand all these different things of what a budget sheet looks like. I didn't understand oh my gosh, I can't keep spending over what I don't have. Right? Those different things I all learned from experience, but I wish I was more prepared, and I wish I had a class that really would have taught me these different things so that I could make sure my family always had the right budget, that we could have did the right things effectively, right? But unfortunately, that didn't help too much, right? So we had to make a budget schedule. When I receive money, what do I do with tithes? What do I do with charity? What do I pay myself? How do I pay my expenses? How do I go to entertainment? All these different things that you should have learned in school, right? Maybe you did, but I didn't. This is something that, regardless of whatever side you're on, 100% should be a class that's mandatory to make sure you're budgeting the right way. That brings us to number 2. Number 2 is mental health. Mental health. I read an article recently saying that 1 out of 4 people are literally diagnosed with a mental disease right now in their head. I'm like, wow, that's pretty big. And maybe I'm saying that politically incorrect, but mental illness is a serious issue right now. Mental health is something that we got to look more into right now, especially what happened with COVID for the last 2 years when we've been isolated. They talked about so many things that increased because of isolation. We started talking about suicide increase with isolation, addictions increase. We started talking about all these different problems have increased in homes simply because of mental illnesses. Mental health is such a major deal. This is something that needs to be talked about consistently, and it needs to be classes on this. And I think it should start right in high school. Okay, I think it will prepare a lot of us to be very more advanced in the future of what's going on right now in this world. That brings us to number 3. Oh my gosh, taxes, right? They always say 2 things are always guaranteed you, which is death and taxes, right? So taxes, is that going up or going down? What do you think? I think it's going up, but I wish I would have learned how taxes work. Why? Because I'm thinking that literally, I'm working with an employer, we shake hands and they say, here's your salary, you're going to make 50 grand. And at the end of the year, I never got 50 grand. Where did it go? They didn't tell me that this guy, Uncle Sam, was coming. That the 3 letters IRS was coming to what? Take their share as well. And it really affected me because I was like, man, why are they taking so much? I thought they had money already. Why are they taking so much from me? And it really hurt me because in my mind, didn't really understand the purpose of it, right? And I didn't understand the tax laws. I didn't understand if I became an S Corp, a C Corp, or start running a business, how I can start lowering these taxes. I didn't understand capital gains. I didn't understand W-2. If I was a W-2 employee, how I'm paying over 50% of our nation's taxes. I didn't understand any of this, right? And I wish this was taught in what? High school. Maybe that's something you learned. I didn't learn it there, but it definitely needs to be a class that's taught so that you can effectively make and earn most of your money and not give it all into taxes. That brings us to number 4, which is time management, all right? We only have 24 hours in a day, all right? And that's the problem that all of us have. We say, I don't know, you ever maybe go through a day like I do, and I go through the day and say, I wish there was just more time. Where did it go? Where did it go? So the real question is, how effective are you with your time that God has given you in that 24 hours? What are you doing with it? Are you sleeping on most of the day? Are you actually being productive, or are you just being busy? And I wish this was something that I was taught more about being productive versus just being busy. Okay, we're all busy. I don't know anybody, everyone you talk to is someone's busy. You're busy, you're busy, you're busy. Some people are just busy watching Netflix. Someone is busy just doing something so you're busy, but really, are you effective? Are you productive? Are you moving forward towards a purpose that you believe that you have? What's those goals that you have? And I wish I would have learned how to really manage my time effectively, because if I really If you take a piece of paper and you actually gauge your whole week of what you went through for your whole week, and you look at it, you say, okay, I slept for 8 hours. You times that by 7. You say, man, I got to eat 3 times a day. And you take those hours and you say, man, I have a commute to either my job or maybe you work for remote. Maybe you say, I watch TV for this certain amount of hours. I spend so much time with my spouse or my family. And you start writing down all the time that you're doing on a weekly basis. You start seeing how much wasted time you have. You start seeing how much time that you really have to be really effective to something else, maybe a side hustle, maybe to go and build another project or something along those lines. I wish this was taught better so all of us could be more effective in those 24 hours that we're given. Next one, which is number 5, which is act of kindness. I can't tell you how big this one is. Why? Because it's a fact, it's a principle. If you give, you shall receive. Today, we've always been taught, our culture has been taught, receive. What can you give me? What can I consume? What can you give me? What can I consume? Consume. How about contribute? What can I give? Right? Because whatever you give, you should get tenfold back. So if you want love, you give love. You give me act of kindnesses, guess what should happen to you as well? Act of kindnesses. What does that even look like? Like we're sitting at this restaurant. So I live in Dallas, Texas, and my wife is pregnant right now, right? So we're sitting at the table, and this other couple sent over a bread pudding pie. We were at this restaurant called Papados. Maybe some of you heard of it, right? And my wife, she's pregnant, all hormonal, and she just starts crying. And she's like, oh, like, so thank you, right? And the guy just said, you know what? You guys just look like you're so happy. I just wanted to do something nice. That's an act of kindness. So what do we think we want to do now? We want to do that and pay it forward to someone else, right? So those different things are very big when you start thinking about, what if we were taught that in school? What if we were taught this in a class about the importance of being kind to someone? Because something that has to be taught, most importantly, most has to be caught. But I think we don't have enough environments to go bring that back into our culture. I think this will do tremendous wonders to our communities throughout the world right now if we just brought this up. And that brings to our last one, which is financial literacy. So what I mean by financial literacy? Yes, I already said money management. What's financial literacy? Be able to understand how money really works, how to make sure you can make sure it scales effectively. Do you understand how to invest? Do you know how to ROI means? Do you know how to get the most return on your investments, right? Do you understand the different tools or the different ways you can put your money into? How to get liquidity, how to get safety, how to get return on that, how to get tax advantages, most importantly, how to get legacy with the money that you're creating consistently. So once you understand financial literacy, that brings us back to what? Managing the money that you created, right? And this is a cycle over and over again. This is something that needs to be taught consistently. If it's not been taught for you, the cool thing about it is that there's so many different resources that you can go and acquire to make sure that you're going in that right way. So with that, Preneurs, that would end this video. These again are our 6 top mandatory classes that we think should be taught in high school, and different things that we've all went through that maybe you're going through currently right now. If you feel that we missed any at all, maybe there's a 7, maybe there's an 8, maybe there's a 9 or 10. Please put in the comments what you think that we missed. We would love to hear exactly what you're thinking as well. And go and tag somebody else that you think that any of these 6 could be able to benefit. And make sure you're increasing 1% daily so you can increase your profit, your passion, and your purpose. And click that notification if you haven't already so you can live the best Preneur life. And we'll see you guys on the next one.